This is the Board of Selectmen, and today, February 27, 2025, at 6 p.m., we're going to open the meeting. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast via our local cable access channel, WCAT, Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. If anyone in the audience is recording, please let us know. And to get all started, I'm going to ask you to stand up, and we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So on our first item, the Warren Board of Selectmen, as the local licensing authority, will hold a public hearing on Thursday, 27, 2025, at 6 p.m. at the Shepherd Municipal Building, 48 High Street, West Warren, pursuant to M.A. Gen. Laws, Chapter 138 and 15A, on the new application for licenses for Tropical Vibes and Grill located at 2162 Main Street, West Warren. Anticipated vote. Do you have information?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is a public hearing, so as normally public hearings, we should have asked the petitioner to come forward, state their name and residential address and what they're proposing to do, and then we could take any comments from the audience in terms of anybody, opposing the license, and run it that way.
Okay, so we welcome you guys. You want to come up over here and gotta say your name and who you are and where you live and introduce yourselves and what you want. Don't be shy. This is just being casual.
My name is Piafina Vincent. We live in 1006 Wheat Street. We are applying for the liquor license. What else? For liquor license.
For the tropical vibe.
For Tropical Vibe and Grill.
Very good.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think you did very well. Okay, do we have to have a
Yeah, we have discussion.
discussion and then we're
You
gonna
can
open
ask
to the public?
questions, and
Okay,
then we open it up to the floor.
so,
If they have any comments or opposition.
so you guys have any comments?
I don't have any questions.
David, do you have any comments or questions?
You understand the responsibility of having a liquor license for your property?
Yes.
Okay, and you know everybody has to be over 21 that you're gonna serve, and you need to ID everybody
Yes.
that you serve alcohol to, and that if you do serve somebody that's underage, you could possibly get fined or face some legal issues. We just want to make sure of that, because we take liquor license very, very serious in the town, so we just want to make sure everybody's being responsible with them and doing what's necessary to protect the young kids.
Yes.
We just don't want young kids wanting to go there and try to drink alcohol and get into trouble,
Okay.
okay? Just want to say congratulations on the new restaurant. I hear very good things from both of, from the restaurant. Residents are very happy about it. They're liking your food, and it's very good to see, and welcome to the community. And we hope you stay around for a very long time and continue to serve very good food in our community.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Okay, you good, you good?
Yep.
Good.
I am good. I think it's a good opportunity to make a better business. And now we are going to open for questions to the public. If they have any questions, you address them to the board, and the board will point that at an answer. It's open to the public. Does anybody in the public? Yes, sir?
Mr. Chairman, I just for the record clarification, is this for beer and wine, or is this all liquor? All liquor. Okay. Because on item number one, it says This is a Caribbean flair restaurant. We're offering mostly beer and wine, but would like to have the ability to serve mixed drinks later on, so I'm not sure. It's all liquor, okay.
So we're good?
Okay, yep.
We open to the public? Okay, so it's open to the public. Anybody in the public or on Zoom have a question? Yes, sir?
Hi, good evening.
Over here, over here.
My name is Jim Allard, and I own the building down in West Warren. And I have no objections whatsoever of having liquor there on the property. It's nice to see that the guys here are going to have a dinner and lunch menus, which is great. I too have heard the food and been there. It's been very, very good. And I also want to thank the administration here, the administrator and all the boards that helped out quite a bit in the beginning. This is the first time that they've ventured into a restaurant and business. And I'm very happy and pleased that everybody helped out quite a bit. So it was really nice, and I'd like to see our town prosper, get bigger, control it, enjoy it.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, we are really interested in new businesses for the town, so we try to work with the clients and do the best so they can feel welcome, and at the same time, they can provide a good service for all the residents. Any other questions?
I just got
Go ahead.
one thing. Chief, do you have any concerns or anything about the licensing of alcohol license on the property?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Like you said, we do checks, so.
So just be aware, with all the properties, we may send somebody in there to check to see if you are serving people underage, and you wouldn't be able to tell. And if you serve that person, then you can get into some trouble. So just be aware of that whether the police department or the Alcohol Beverage Commission may send somebody in there. So it's a big responsibility having a liquor license, so, okay?
Anybody else in the public? Anybody else online?
No one's online.
Okay. So are we good to make a decision?
Good. You're gonna close the public hearing though.
Okay, so at this time, the board is gonna close the public hearing. Do we have to read everything? For this, matter,
You're gonna do a motion to close.
okay, just do a motion to close.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for the liquor license for Tropical Vibes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. The open meeting has been closed. Now, can we make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license for Tropical Vibes and Grill located at 2162 Main Street, West Warren.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. Motion approved.
Congratulations, you get your liquor license.
Thank you.
I will send this all to the state tomorrow,
Okay,
and if they usually take a couple of weeks to get back to us,
okay.
so, okay? And I'll
Thank-
be in touch.
All right, thank you, all of you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your restaurant again.
The rice was really good, by the way.
Okay, thank
Last
you.
night. Yeah, I went to get dinner, and she said, "You gonna try the rice?" I said, "Yeah," and it was really good.
So who's the
They
chef?
barely,
He's the chef.
they
He's the
barely
chef?
asked for a rice, so we try to give it out so they can try it.
It was very good.
Thank
I'm gonna go back for your soup.
you. Okay.
She said soup is it's gone, and so, so I'll be there for the soup.
Okay. All right, thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good luck.
Tomorrow we be jerking rice.
Awesome.
Rice?
And,
Yeah, jerk and rice.
Okay.
With a
and if you need anything, you can, you know, Mr. Ferrara and
Yeah,
Mrs.
he's been
Dawson.
I'll have to
stepping
stop
around.
by.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
All right, good night.
Good luck.
So, the check, oh, do I give it to you now?
Thanks. I'll figure it out.
So we're going to continue. We have the discussion with a possible vote to appoint Nicholas Dugre
Yes, sir.
Dugret as a full-time police officer with a recommendation from the police chief to start him at a step 4 on the wage scale for a 1-year term. Anticipated vote. Chief, how are you?
My folder doesn't fit. Come on up, Nick. Thank you very much. Good evening. Today I bring in front of you Nicholas Degree. Did I say that right? Dugray. I always screw that up. So a little bit about Nicholas. Nicholas has 4 years law enforcement experience. He started with the Hampden County Sheriff's Department, then moved over to Palmer PD, where he was recently their detective. Along with his detective certs, he has certs involving firearms armorer, drug investigation, street-level narcotics investigation. He's a field training officer. He's a health and wellness instructor, a tactical instructor, a basic SWAT. He has a certain basic SWAT tactics. He's got a certain interview techniques. He's also got a certain fire investigation from the National Fire Academy, which he'll be able to investigate fires if we have him here. Hopefully not. DNA collection. He's a ballistic shield instructor and a sexual assault instructor. Along with that, he has been awarded the Top Gun Award in his academy class. He also last year was the recipient of the MAD Award for OUI Enforcement Achievement Award. That's Mothers Against Driving Drunk. So he received that award last year. He lives locally. He's married with 2 children.
Well, very impressive.
Very good. Very nice.
Rich, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
David?
No, you seem very impressive. I'd like to hear from you. What do you have to say about yourself? Your resume is pretty impressive.
Well, as far as coming over here from Palmer, I've worked with Lieutenant Whitcomb while he was in Ware, so we've had a relationship prior to this, and him and I started talking about his time over in Warren, and he kind of sold it to me with how great the team was here, and things were on the up and up, and it's a great town to be in. So he kind of talked me into it, and as I came over and I started meeting the guys, I was sold. So I'd love to bring my experience over here, start working with you guys, and see what we can do.
Very good.
Good catch.
I do want to make one clarification on here as far as the sexual assault instructor. I'm an investigator. Not an instructor, not yet. Investigator.
Still very impressive.
Thank you, sir.
Still very impressive.
Good
Very
catch.
good.
The lieutenant, he has very good taste, and we're very pleased to have him. He's doing all right here so far.
Yeah.
And anytime he recommends is somebody and puts his name on it, and says you're good to go.
Very excited to work with him again.
Very, very good. And I'm glad that you're hearing good things about the department, because it's definitely a great department, and it's moving up, and you guys got a lot of good things coming through for you, and you're joining a very good force. You have an amazing leadership. The chief is awesome. Lieutenant, can't say too many good things about that guy. He's awesome too. You get a good team, so.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I got comment that we really do have a great team. All the guys that work under me are fantastic, and I think Nick's going to fit in great.
Awesome.
Very good.
Very good.
Very excited.
Any more questions? No? We're good?
I'm good.
Let's go for it.
All right, I'll make a motion to appoint Nicholas Degree as a full-time police officer at the step of 4 on the current wage scale for a 1-year term.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Rich Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. Mr. Dugret, welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Very much.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Oh, watch out for the camera.
If you see an old guy with a crazy yellow car waving at you, that's
Very good.
Good to see you again. Congratulations.
Yes. Watch out for the cords.
Kyle, good to see you. Yeah. Oh, anytime.
This piece of paper. Yeah. I'm just making a mess of everything here.
I think it's a good idea to put that thing.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, eventually when we get that put up on the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna take that, he'll show you down to the clerk's office? She's gonna sign.
Yes.
Makes a photocopy for.
Thank you very much, sir.
Congratulations. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we're gonna review departmental comments and discuss with possible vote on one-day liquor license regulations, anticipated vote.
Okay, last time you asked me to send it to all the people involved. I sent it to the police, fire chief, building department, board of health. The building department came back and asked to put in there one verbiage about tent that they, on two, let me find it real quick. Yeah, an outdoor tent must be separated and.
What number are you looking at?
2.1.
Oh, okay.
So, why doesn't it say what I typed in? He was fine with the verbiage, he just wanted to make sure that they knew that they had to go to him, and it says it right there that you have to go to the building commission. If a tent permit is required, please contact the building department.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's what he wanted in there.
Yeah, probably don't wanna show up on those YouTube videos where the tent is.
Well, that,
Flag,
and
right?
apparently if there is a tent and has walls, you have to have a marked exit and entrance separate on opposite sides of the tent. If it does not have walls, you do not, if the tent is a certain size, you do not have to have a permit. There's just so many regulations that he just says, just put in there that, to contact us if they're gonna use a tent. And Chief Millette, you didn't have any changes in yours, you were fine with it,
No, I
correct?
just wanted to make sure it said in there, and it did, where I set, my recommendation, how many officers they, if they need any, or how many they would need.
So other than that, everybody's good with it. I looked at other towns also, none of them were as detailed as ours. I liked the way we did it better than what the other towns did. They just did little bullet points and just said, do this, do this, do this, do this, versus really giving the people an in-depth and wanting them to be able to be understanding what we expect.
Very good. Looks good.
Who does the checklist?
They have to go to, before they bring it to us, they have to go to each department, and that checklist has to be signed off by each department, and then they bring it to us.
Oh, if that's the case, would it be nice to have like a space between them and say line, sign, approved, or anything?
I think it's on the application,
Oh,
It's on
okay.
the application right here.
page 3 of the application.
It says police officer, signature and date, fire inspector, building commissioner, board of health, and tax collector.
Oh, good.
So, page 5, it's an affidavit with a T, not an affidavit with a DE.
Jesus, Richie, nothing goes up from you.
Look,
It just
you
popped out.
already had your chance.
Microsoft should hire you because the spell check in my Word is not as good as you. Okay? Do we need anything else? More discussion? No? I think we're good.
Yeah.
You have any questions? No?
Nope,
Let's do it.
just make that change.
I will make that change, then I can send it out to those people that would like to do it.
Okay.
The chief did say he went out there and, looked at it and said if there would be a limited number of people that could come to that, because that's a one-way in.
Where is it? gonna be?
It's in the Airbnb or the bed and breakfast.
Just
Yeah, right.
about like half a mile from my house.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Laurel Hill
he
or
said
whatever.
that the road is so tiny that if they had cars parked along the way, they could not get the ambulance in and out.
Yeah,
So he's very particular about how many people they have.
okay.
Or parking. Do not block the driveway.
Mhm.
Yeah, because parking on the road, it won't work, it's too far.
No, it's too far back in there.
I'm sure they can provide parking.
So that's the only thing that the chief said about that particular one, and I said, well, they have to come to you anyway and see it.
Yeah, he'll make sure that everything's straight.
Yep.
Good?
I'm good.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the one-day liquor license regulations.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye, motion approved. Now, we have discussion with possible vote to reappoint William R. Cantel as the town's building inspector, zoning enforcement officer for a 3-year term. Anticipated vote. It's,
I got a note from Laura, the secretary for building, and Bill asked to be because his commission is up, it was for 1 year only, and it's up March 7th, I think. So she asked us if we could do it now.
it's fine, I mean, it's,
Have there been any complaints or?
Yeah, that's my concern.
You know, I haven't heard of any specifically. You know, I think that some residents, you know, are getting used to, you know, his style and his approach. But there are some, you know, some residents that want a little bit more of a opportunity to speak with him, and we're working with, you know, having a little bit more accessibility.
Okay.
Okay. Is it a problem?
Well, I mean, it's, you know, it's something that one resident had a concern with, in particular, that did come to see me. You know, I explained the situation as it was explained to me by Bill, and, you know, I think she kind of understood, but, you know, I think she's looking to have a little bit further discussion with Bill in the future.
Are you comfortable with the 3-year term?
It's up to the board. I mean, the board doesn't have to do a full 3 years. The board could do 2, the board could do 1. It's purview of the board.
Are you comfortable with the 3-year term?
I would like to see another 1-year term.
Okay.
where does the 3-year come from? Was it because of him?
Just
or-
normal.
Yeah,
That's
just
just
a
what we've done in
process,
the
yeah.
past, yeah. 1 year to check them out, and then another 3 years after that. But you can do whatever you want.
What do you say?
I know that a lot of people had a hard time when he first came in because he was by the book. But he's by the book because he's also the inspector for several towns. He's a step above just a normal building inspector. So he does the inspection that the other inspectors have done. So he's kind of like their supervisor. So I just think it took time for the people to understand that, no, you're gonna do this by the book.
Yeah, you gotta do it by the code. Code says white, you do it white.
Yeah.
That's
So I
okay.
think that took a while for the people to do it.
Yeah.
In one of the reasons why I say, you know, these terms, you know, some towns do them differently. Some towns do them 3 years, some towns do them 1 year. Some towns say, you know what, we're putting everybody at will. So, you know, in case of the board wanting to move in a different direction, or, you know, have you know, a different philosophy, then it's, you know, it's a little bit easier to appoint somebody when the term is expired, that maybe the board would favor differently. And I'm not saying that you know, you shouldn't reappoint Bill. I think he's highly qualified, and I think he does a good job. It's just, in general speaking, in terms of, you know, these appointments. It's really up to the board's philosophy if they want to do 3 years, if they want to do 2, if they want to do 1, or if they want to do at will. You know, it's kind of the board's purview.
Do we know if he has an interest on a number of years?
I don't know.
He did not, the letter did not say, just said that his term was up and he needed to be reappointed.
Let's do 1-year term.
I think 1 year would be appropriate too.
I think 1 year will be good in the sense of every year we remind him, we have it on the agenda, so we just don't forget.
Well, if there is any issues, it's easier if it's only 1 year than a long contract where it's a 3-year term, where we kind of could work ourselves in a position because we're under contract with somebody.
Okay. I will change that then, and you can sign that after the meeting.
So we'll do 1 year. And just, if there's any other issues, just
I mean,
make us aware.
I think it's a good building inspector.
No, I think he does a great job, and I suggest 1 year term just because of the fact that I think 1 years really should be for pretty much anybody that you're looking to appoint in these positions, in case the board has a change in philosophy, or in case the board wants to move in a different direction. It allows for that flexibility easily to, okay, so, we're gonna try something different,
Remember, the board, the members of the boards are not here they're not the same all the time.
Right,
so
yeah.
Right.
So it doesn't tie future boards to our decision
Our
today.
decision doesn't ties another board in the future, right?
Mhm.
Okay, let's do 1 year term. Do you have a motion?
Yep. I'll make a motion to appoint William R. Cantel as a town's building inspector / zoning enforcement officer for a 1-year term.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Rich Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. Motion approved. We're gonna continue reviewing the Selectmen's fiscal year 2026 budget.
Still have yellow.
Request with a discussion of any warrants articles needed for the annual or special town meeting.
So is this the budget hasn't changed then, probably, right?
Has not changed much, if at all. We're still waiting on Maya for liability and workers' comp. We have not gotten the final numbers yet. Those are merely estimates. We're still tidying up some loose ends when it comes to the regional dispatch. That's the high number that's there. We're hoping that it will come in less. And we want to reemphasize the fact that for 5 years, the town has received a grant from the state to offset the implementation of the regional dispatch center. So that grant has expired. We've maxed out our opportunities there, and now we're gonna be assessed, the full value. So, that's a little bit different there. But still, we're gonna be saving quite a bit of money because of the fact that we don't have dispatch in-house. We don't have to pay, benefits. We're just making one assessment, one payment, and it takes care of all of that. So that could go down. So we're hoping that it does.
Could it go up?
No, from Director Moriarty, from what he told me, that would be the highest.
So this is the worst case?
Right.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's 2%, it's not terrible.
Oh, no, it's 54%.
Why am I seeing 2%? Oh, insurance liability. Wait, where's the?
Regional dispatch, first page.
First page.
First page,
Oh, sorry.
bottom line.
It's not yellow.
Yeah, it's not yellow. It should be in bright red.
What I was discussing with the administrator this morning is that if we take in consideration that if we didn't have this service and we had to hire at least 3 people to cover shifts, their salary, their, their insurance, their equipment, these pays, everything will add up and will be a little bit more than this.
Well, it's just not about the, the salaries and the benefits, it's the equipment and the technology that you had indicated. The technology is changing, year after year, especially with these dispatch centers, and, Rutland has been keeping up with the technology demand, but they're also running out of space there too. So, at some point, they're gonna have to, look for a different model, which they're doing.
Sorry, and I think the first point is that it's not going up. It's that the grant is over.
The grant is over, right,
Right.
right,
We
right,
were having a special treat.
right.
Now
Yeah.
it's over, so
So-
it's not that it went up. That's been the price, but we've been,
We're getting
Having
assessed the actual assessment.
Yeah.
Is it what it is?
to do what it is.
Yeah.
We knew
It
it.
costs money, we knew it was gonna come. So we have to table it for next
Yeah.
week.
We'll look at it next week.
I'm still, for the other point of this agenda topic for articles, I'm still collecting articles from departments, so I will have a more robust draft as we get them, for the STM and ATM, but if the board has any, comments that they need or articles that they're in, they want me to research, I can certainly do that. The one that I had mentioned earlier to Selectman Dufresne was the HEROES Act, okay? The HEROES Act is an act that was just recently passed by the state legislature that would allow cities and towns to adopt that act and would save money, and abatements would be given to our veterans in town and would allow for additional relief for our veterans. And that's something that I'm working with our assessors, with our veterans agent. We're trying to pull that information. So we're hoping to bring an article about the adoption of a HEROES Act as one of them, as an anticipated article to bring that for our veterans in Warren.
I think it would be a great opportunity to help our veterans who are struggling and give them a little more break within the community.
It requires a local adoption, so that would be done at a town meeting. There's one other article that I'm anticipating for the special, which is a prior year bill for regional transportation from Vanpool. We had missed the May's payment for last year, okay? And the May's payment wasn't, somehow the bill got crossed either in the mail or via email, and we didn't pay it. So we will have a $5,400 bill that we will have to pay at our special.
Is that with late fees or something?
No, there's no late fees. That was
Okay.
just for the month of May. We didn't get the bills, we didn't pay it, and so now we have to pay it. The bill, and their billing is odd because we paid the June bill when we didn't see that there was like a balance. They don't carry a balance over to the bill.
They
So
don't tell you if you haven't paid.
they don't tell you if you haven't paid. So I get an email in December of last year, right after the special.
December?
Yeah, after the special, saying, by the way, we didn't receive May's payment, so we will have to pay that. And I said, well, you should have told me this, in
Are you running a
September.
business or not?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Hello?
We could
Well,
have
they
taken
also
care.
just sold the business too, around that time.
Yeah, we could have taken care of it at the special, but we will have to take care of it now at the special in June, and they are already aware that they're gonna have to wait to get paid.
Did we verify we didn't pay them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
How does that work with so is there a line item for this transportation?
Yes, yep.
And so how does that work? Cause now the budget, right off the bat, is $5,400 less.
So that 5,400 that wasn't paid out last year got calculated into the free cash number for
Right.
So
for
we
this
just
year.
take it out of
Oh, so
free
we take it
cash.
out of free cash?
Right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt the budget.
Right.
We pay our bills.
It might take 1 or 2 votes, but we pay them eventually.
We have to pay them. There's no question
I know,
asked.
but-
Yeah. Do we have to vote on this?
No.
Okay. Anything else?
We do-
So we move into number 6.
Okay.
Review and discuss a time expenditure waiver letter drafted by Central Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission, CMRPC, as part of the town's fiscal year 2025 Community Development Block Grant application, with an anticipated vote to have the chair sign said letter. Anticipated vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this letter has been asked to be submitted to the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities as part of our fiscal year 25 grant application for CDBG funds. And this letter is basically saying that in fiscal year 21, not all of the funds were used.
And that's because we use program income?
No, it's because the projects came in under budget.
Oh, okay.
We're looking at reprogramming those, right?
And we're in the process of we're gonna have to have public hearings to try to reprogram some of that money for other projects.
Once we are all good, we can make a motion.
Sure.
You good?
He's good. You good? I'm good.
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept and have the chair sign the waiver letter.
Do I hear a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. Motion approved. Next, we have a discussion on appointing an administrator of the naloxone boxes that are in town buildings. What were we talking about?
Mr. Chairman, I think the people from the shared health organization that had given us these boxes as part of the grant, they kind of want some clarification as to who's going to be, responsible on the town side for maintaining and monitoring these boxes. I did have a brief conversation with Chief LaVoy. He has some intimate knowledge of these, boxes, and I feel as he would be the best fit to try
I
to
think
do
he would be
that.
the best fit too, seeing how he's already
Doing
doing
the
the AEDs. And the Narcan boxes are next to the AEDs, so you could just check them both right there, and then it'd be either him or I'd say Board of Health, but I think since Chief's already checking them all.
So are we proposing Chief, to do it?
Yep,
I think it's, if he's willing to do it, that'll be great.
yeah.
Probably best qualified person to do it. Okay,
I'm good with that?
I'm good.
Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint Chief of Chief of Fire, as the administrator for the naloxone boxes.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye, motion approved. Next, we have warrants and bills.
All right. I'll make a motion to pay the following warrants. Payroll, number 24, for $133,429.67. Accounts payable, number 33, for $82,240.15. Accounts payable, number 34, for $113,539.19.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. Motion approved.
I'll make a motion to pay the following bills. Turley Publications for a total amount of $246.97. Mass Municipal Association for $330. KP Law for a total amount of $3,733.59. America Connell for amount of $1,785.20. Modern Pest for $117. New Systems Associates LLC for $448.94. National Grid for $86.36. Masters Telecom for $93.61. Merlin Leeson for $1,273.31. And Hampton Communications for $1,500.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. Motion approved. Do we have any minutes to approve?
No, but you've got corrections coming, or in your mailbox now.
I saw them.
Okay.
Town Administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I have a couple items I'd like to report to the board this evening. This week, on the 25th, I had police contract negotiations with the Patrolmen's Union. We started them on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. We ran for about 2 hours. We got some more detailed on-the-record proposals from the Patrolmen's Union, which I will be sharing with the board in executive session next Thursday at 4:30. And right after that executive session on Friday at 1 o'clock is when we have our next negotiations with the patrolmen. So, you know, depending on how our executive session goes and what direction you want me to move in with the negotiations, I will relay that back to the Patrolmen's Association the next day at 1. We have those scheduled. The FinCom also met on Tuesday in between meeting and doing the negotiations with the Patrolmen's Union. I was only able to be there very briefly just to check in with them. They are going to be meeting next Tuesday. They welcomed a new member to the FinCom, Priya, who was recently appointed by the moderator. And we welcome her and her contributions to the committee, and we look forward to working with her. On Wednesday of this week, we had our Wrights Mills Mass Recovery Plan meeting in the evening. It was well attended. There was over 30 people there from kind of an eclectic mix of different individuals from town, and it was great to see some of the familiar faces from the fall, from when we had our first meeting, and some new faces. So I think people are really engaged and really want to see some development and some activity going on at the mill, and I think this plan will help the town kind of steer some of what the town's interests are to seeing what could potentially be developed there, as well as letting potential developers know what the town is looking to see happen there. So as it was explained by our consultants, Weston and Sampson, this is going to be a long journey, but we're looking to create a relationship with a potential developer who can, develop that parcel. And what I thought was amazing, and it really hit me. I mean, I knew 600,000 square feet is a lot just by the number of what that parcel is all encompassing. 600,000 square feet. And when the gentleman from Weston and Sampson says that's 10 Walmarts, that kind of really puts it into perspective. 10 super Walmarts. So that's a very large piece of property that the town has, and it's a very important piece of property. So we're looking at, infrastructure in and around there. We're looking at ways that we can, support some type of development there, whether it's coming from, the Main Street side of where, Tropical Vibes is, all the way to the complex. All of that area right in there to find some type of development and some activity going on there. So I thought it was well attended, and I was very pleased with everybody, with the turnout and everything, and I'm really excited to see the final report come out, and they should have that wrapped up by, no later than June, because that's when our grant will also expire. So we have a few more months to go, and we'll have a final report out there for the public. Also on Wednesday, I started my morning out in Barry, and I was at Barry Town Hall with the town administrators, one from Barry, a familiar face, Tammy Martin, and I was with Nate from Hubbardston, and Ryan from Rutland, as well as an individual from Oakham. So we all met. We were talking about the a potential agreement, what a potential agreement would look like, going over what the Collins Center had put together, talking about the concerns of each community. I certainly brought up the concerns of the two chiefs with regards to the infrastructure that we have made, the capital investment we have made in our radio infrastructure project as of recently, and making sure that that's compatible for anything in the future in terms of a district model approach. I said, we want to make sure that that is definitely compatible, and that we are, grandfathered in for that compatibility. Now, if somebody comes into the district and is a newbie and needs to make investments within their capital to get onto this new system, well, that it should be up to that individual community to make their own investment. We shouldn't be held responsible, or it shouldn't be part of our assessment in the future. It should be their capital investment. And in Rutland and in Hubbardston, it's a little different of approach that they take with their radio infrastructure. Rutland Regional Dispatch owns that infrastructure. Our infrastructure is owned by the town of Warren, and we lease sites, right? So we don't own the sites, but we lease them. We have a lease with the owners of those sites. So, but we own the repeaters on the towers, and we own the infrastructure, but we lease the sites. In those two communities, Rutland Regional Dispatch, they own the infrastructure, that model. So there's some things that have to be worked out. I think we're trying. The whole goal here is to lower assessments, try to get more people in the district model, which would also open it up for more grants. So we're doing some homework. There's another meeting coming up that we're going to be going to on March 19th, back up in Barry. So we'll be meeting with them again on the 19th. I do also want to let the board know I will be attending teacher negotiations. The next time that we're having teacher negotiation is on March 5th at Quabog at 6 o'clock. I will be attending that. I was also contacted by a gentleman that came to town, Inspector General's office, Neil Cohen. He came in and made a presentation probably about a year and a half ago on 30B. He teaches a class at Clark University in Worcester, and he's asked me to speak at the class on March 10th. So on Monday, March 10th at 7, I'll be hosting a discussion about the role of, the difference between being a politician and an administrator, and so, pointing out some of those differences in challenges and trying to weed out some of the questions that they may have. It's a graduate level class that some people are taking on public administration. So I appreciate Neil, inviting me and asking me to go, and I certainly will. I did want to let the board know that I will be doing that on a Monday night. Budget, Pathfinder budget is March 12th at 6:30. I also plan on attending that as well.
Very good.
Supposed to Wednesday. Let us know about that meeting, just in case we can go.
Okay, yep.
Busy man.
Thank you, Jim, for your report. You guys have any questions? David?
No.
Rich? I have a comment on the rights recovery plan.
Mhm.
I think it was great. It was a lot of people there. We were there. I think one of the most important things that we want to see here is where you pointed out that what's the town's interest of going there, also what the developers want to do. But when we merge both together, like, a developer will come and says, what can I do here, right? And the public is like, oh, we would like to see their X, Y, and Z. We're merging both. But we have a third opinion, which is Weston and Sampson, what's possible and how to get there. That's the beauty of this project. Have that cooking recipe ready for any developer that can come. He will see all the opportunities, and then, they know what the town wants, and something good will come. Cross your fingers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
New business. Hearing none?
Nope.
Old business. So we got a list.
This list is what I wanted for like years now,
Yeah.
because we always talk about stuff.
Well, I did one a while ago back in October, and then I forgot about it, and then I just came across it, and I'm like, oh, wait.
I'm sure we can double that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so sign boards around town to be fixed by contractor union.
That was something that they came out and looked at, but just kind of got not happening.
Quiet? Okay.
Okay.
Not happy.
I still wanna get some prices. Remember, we spoke about doing a welcome to Warren sign or something like that.
That's on
Thanks for
there.
visiting Warren. Who did this board over here? That big sign?
That was
David Shepherd,
Shepherd's, yeah.
David Shepherd had somebody do it.
So that was donated, right?
The actual sign we paid for, but he donated like the lumber and the vinyl posts.
Cause I like the way it looks, so maybe we can tap a little bit into him and see who did it, and then we can.
Yeah, it was the same ones that do our police cruisers, our designs, the industry design. What's the, he's local.
He used to live on,
It-
he used to live in town and,
If you guys pass me the contact, I will try to connect with them and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and
Yeah.
find out how much it will cost.
Yeah,
And then now we can have at least some information on.
his name Dave?
yes, I think so.
Okay.
It'd be nice to see something like a nice wooden sign that says welcome to Warren, small, not big like that. I don't think we need anything really big, but it'd be nice to have a good looking signs on the two sides of town as you come in.
Yeah, it can be double, like, thank you for
Yeah.
visiting us, and then
Yeah.
the other side is welcome.
A lot of towns have that.
Yeah.
Come back again, or.
Come back again.
And that can be done on one of those, the laser lathe. They just put the design in and they print it out. They cut it right out with the lathe.
Is it in Design Works?
Yes, that's it.
That's the
Okay.
company?
Yeah,
Dave Maloney.
yeah, that's it.
So if you
Be
give me
nice
the
to see
info,
if we could do
I'll
something like
touch
that.
base with them and see what they can offer.
Speaking of signs, the signs for the 3 sites are up, right?
No, the highway's waiting to put them up till.
Oh, 'cause
Ground's frozen.
Okay, got it.
You want a jackhammer burn?
Small detail. 4 feet of frost.
think they're busy.
We can have them on
Yeah,
Fixing
skis.
that is-
roads right now, not dealing with anything else.
You can have them on skis and move them around. Batteries for the speed signs. Do we need batteries for the speed signs?
Not the solar ones.
Do we need batteries for the one that uses
We
battery?
needed the one for the battery one.
I bought some a few months back because the other ones were trash.
So we're good?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I can take that off.
Yeah.
Oh, we just talked about the design for the welcome to Warren. Red Dot, today I spent some time with Mr. Ferrera. I showed him how the process works for the software to work.
Yeah, I
And
got
now,
your alert.
now he's alert of that. And we are working on the people who's gonna receive the notifications, because there's some people that leave and new ones that come. And as soon as we get the new computers, we will have everything up and running again.
Okay,
So can we take that one off?
No, keep it there,
Okay.
because it's ongoing.
Reminder.
It's ongoing, once we get the
once we get the new computer.
the new computers, and once we have everybody in the system, then we can take it off. Otherwise, I don't wanna take it off. Raising on fines,
Raising out
Raisins
fines.
on fines?
Fines.
Yeah, didn't we give the chief a tasker to look at any of the fines?
We just did that with our parking tickets, and I got all Brendan ones printed. When was that, Jim, last year?
Oh, yeah, last year.
I know there was some for, like, snow.
Yeah, $5.
It's only like $5 if you're parked.
if you don't
with a
move your car.
snowman.
Do we want to let each department look at their fines and, because I know Jeremy would have a say on what his fine should be.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, let's do that, because it will be, honestly, it will be ridiculous if we charge a fine of $5 because you left your car on the road and we couldn't make our job, then I'll just pay the $5, and,
Yes.
it's cheaper than parking.
So that's part of the parking ticket, but that's not snow removal, that's, in the parking ban.
Now, the
Parking man.
$5 one is if you put snow on the sidewalk.
Oh, so yeah, that's something you should probably ask Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do that.
Okay, all right, I've got it down.
Businesses opening in town need a license, ATM.
What does that mean, ATM?
Well, when we talked about that, we were trying to decide if it was a bylaw that we needed to put in, and then we said that we'd table it for the ATM. But then Mr. Farrar and I were talking today that apparently he said that it's a state law that if a business comes to town, they have to have a license from the town clerk.
Okay, so it's not at one of those machines where you get money? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's annual town meeting? Okay.
But it's not in our bylaws, so,
I don't think it needs to be. Right, if it's a state law.
I mean, it's up to, it's up to the board if they wanna, put one on. I mean, you can, I mean, it'd be redundant, but,
well, it
Yeah,
was
we shouldn't-
interesting though, because I went to the state website and I looked at it, and it says, find out what your town wants you to do, click here. So you click on it, and it brings you immediately to our website, the Warren website, but we
Mhm.
don't have anything about a new business coming into town. So I guess maybe it doesn't need to be an article, but it needs to somehow be addressed that people know that when they come to town, they have to
The
go and get a
instructions.
license,
So that would be the town clerk then.
come from the town clerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we get something like bullets or just a small document, we can put it on on the website. New business, click here.
Yeah, well, it was interesting because, when WIC came downtown, people go, hey, we got a WIC in here. What? Or somebody would call up and say, what's the business going in?
Well, we did talk about that a while back, about listing the businesses on our website and say local businesses in town and what would be in town and, you know, possibly hyperlinking their websites on ours, so if they wanna go to that business, they just click on it and they can go to that business and see what they are. But just to put out there that these businesses are here, so people see them.
So why don't we start with the instructions for the business to get in? And slowly we start building a database with, you know, something that even the business will say, hey, can you put me my website there?
Well, you see a lot of towns where they list local restaurants. So for tourism, when people come to your town, well,
They
I'm
look
gonna
at
come
the
here,
website.
where can I eat?
Yeah.
You know,
So the town clerk has a fee schedule, and on there is a business certificate for $20.
That is, she only gives out DBAs, because I asked her about that, and she goes, that's for DBAs, that's not for somebody opening a business, somebody that needs doing business as, like with my Karen Stitchery. I went in and got a DBA from her, it cost me $20.
So typically, that's, you know, town clerks will charge a business license for any business, you know, it doesn't have to normally be a DBA, so, you know, you would require, like, for example, if, you know, Next Gen comes in and, you know, they're a new business in town, they would go and get a business license and business certificate, and then they would apply for their other permits and different things like that, and so on and so forth. It's kind of a way that is recognized by the town clerk, and there's reasons behind that, you know, that most businesses would have to file with the town clerk.
So do you
And
think,
it also keeps it so that they, personal property tax, if you know that a business has to pay personal property tax. This way, the tax collector and the assessor knows that these are the businesses in
Correct.
town.
so,
especially if they're serving food too, you wanna know if they're serving food, even if they're just like concessions, like ice cream or something, you know, well, we don't make food, we just sell ice cream, you know?
so what
They
if
would need a
we,
license for that, right?
what if
Dan?
we start with the clerk and have, if we add a list here of the businesses in town, maybe we get excited and we start doing something about it.
Okay.
Then one of us, including myself, we could say, oh, I can put that on the website, and, you know, and then start the ball rolling.
Okay.
New website, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a big.
Do you
It's
got
in the
any,
works.
We are working on that. We're working on, the computers are gonna be coming in within the next week or two. So as soon as that project is implemented, I'm anticipating that would be a spring project, like in April.
And it's not gonna be, it's gonna be a long,
It will take a
it's
few
gonna be a
months.
long. Credit card for departments.
Yeah, we talked about that a while ago.
What have you been talking about?
Treasurer has to handle that, and, you know, I know last time the excuse was that, is it budget season, and there was stuff going on, and it's one of those things that keeps on getting kicked down the road, but departments should have a department credit card, so we know what's being purchased in what department, so when they get a line item and they get this money to be able to spend, it's tracked on the credit card to use, instead of a department, an employee using their own personal credit card to purchase something, which I don't agree with. Employees shouldn't be put in that situation to do that, because if something happens, they might be responsible for that payment. And they purchase something for the town with their own pocket, out of their own pockets, so.
Is there such a thing of like a business for towns, municipalities, that they will provide? You know, like a credit card brand, and say, yeah, this is what we have for towns or small towns.
Well, I know that there's something where you can get, it's like a debit card, and it takes it right out of your line item.
They just have to, the treasurer has to just get on board with it and sign up for it. and then they issue the departments the cards. And typically, a department head would be the one responsible for the card, and they would be the ones to use that to purchase stuff, and it would come right out of their line item. And the treasurer would see the printout of everything that's being purchased and where it's being purchased from. You know, the receipts and everything would be there, and know what that department is spending money on. Instead of having to wait for them to vote and submit it, and then have somebody else purchase it, like an employee,
You get reimbursed
and getting reimbursed for it.
So can we look into that with the treasurer?
Sure.
Just knock the door, you know, say, hey, we discussed about this, what do you think? What are the possibilities? Say, complete no, or maybe?
Yeah, we will also have to, I mean, if we were to move in that direction too, we would need to have a policy adopted by the board as well, a use policy.
You get some spare time, right?
Chapter land,
Not sure what that meant. Something about, I remember something about land that's in chapter, and if it comes out of chapter, we wanna look at, take a more serious look at if we can use the land, instead of just saying we don't want it.
In defining the process, right? So there's a couple of times that, not many, but a couple times that individuals say,
Backwards.
you know, I wanna take this out of chapter, you know, I wanna talk to the selectmen. Well, instead of just, you know, them running up here and saying, I wanna get on the agenda, I wanna talk to you guys, here's the checklist, here's the process, this is what you have to do. You have to file this with the assessors, you have to send this out to all the departments, you have to do this, do that before they come to,
Yeah, and I
You
think
guys.
Deborah had worked on that,
Mhm.
and then it just kinda dropped the ball, so bringing it back up.
who is she?
Deborah Hardy?
Deborah Hardy, the assessor.
Oh, okay. Can we reopen that and just try to see if there's some information out there, or, I mean, if it's already out there, maybe we can just adopt it to us, if not.
We gotta look at defining when it comes out of chapter 2. Because there was some question on when you pull a permit, is that when, or when you do a notification? Say, I'm applying for a special permit and I wanna do a change of use. Like solar companies, they would do a special permit, leave it in chapter land until they start actually building. And that whole time, they're getting the discounted rate until they actually start breaking ground and doing their stuff. Where technically, if, once you say, I'm taking it out of chapter, or once you do a change of use, that's when it should be taken out of chapter.
right,
So whether that special permit triggers that change, or is it the actual work that is triggering the change? So,
Yeah, let's look into that. It might be beneficial for the town at
Okay.
some point, you know.
yeah, because what they do is they put land, they warehouse the land, and they get that reduced rate, and they sit on it. And then, when they're ready to build, then it comes out.
Okay, then we have Wi-Fi boosters. Do we have any problems with Wi-Fi in the building?
Once in a while, and it's down by the Board of Health and Planning Board, right in that, down that hallway. We have a booster right outside this room, so that kinda helps this hallway, but that other hallway has one down by the assessor's office, but not at the other end.
Okay, I just did a speed test right now, we're at 50. Maybe before we leave, I will do another test over there and just bring it back next week. Land on Marks Mountain in tax title.
That was that piece of property that was at the end of the road that we discovered that we have up there, and you wanted, David,
Well-
you were asking about,
Do we own it now?
I don't know.
That was the question.
Yeah,
Do we own that
it was
land?
still in tax title. I don't know if there was a, judgment final on that, yeah.
Because there was questions, that was where they wanted to do the logging,
Right,
and they were saying the town owns it.
right.
But, again, we gotta see what land we actually own in this town. Because I think there's a lot of land that we just don't know about.
Mhm. Okay, let's just keep looking at it, see what happens.
Regional school agreement revision.
We gotta do a formal notification to the school that we wanna do a, regional agreement. Then we wanna negotiate the regional agreement.
Might be good to check with West Brookfield, because if we both wanna do it, that would be better. Right now it'd be one against two,
Right.
so if they're interested.
Well, it's not really one against two, it's one against one, because it's between us and West Brookfield.
Well,
The
I mean,
school is the one that has to do it.
Yeah, but if it's only one town that wants to do it, then it doesn't carry as much weight.
So can we touch base with West Brookfield?
Sure.
Certificate for the oldest resident.
I think we're all set.
We're all
with
set on that?
Oh, wait, no, this is my question. When do you wanna do it? How do you wanna notify him? How do you wanna make sure she's able to come? Do you want me to handle all three of those?
I thought you-
Well, she drives,
Okay,
she, believe me, she drives.
okay, so how do you wanna notify, when do you wanna do it and how do you wanna notify her?
I'd say notify her as soon as possible.
Yeah,
And, we can let her know. You know, if you do a formal letter, well, if we do a formal letter, I can notify her and invite her. I can stop at her house. And if I don't show up for the next meeting, you know what happened to me.
Okay, so you wanna notify her by a
we'll put an
letter.
air tag on you.
Just make sure you marked your phone so that we can track you on your phone.
Geolocate.
Yeah.
David Dufresne was last seen in the swamp.
In the middle of a swamp.
We also have to set up meetings about the safety complex,
Yes.
when to start them.
So I would say, probably the best time to start breaking out on that and do a public meeting would be at the annual town meeting. Because we get everybody there, do a briefing at the annual, so everybody sees, have them come out and say, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's proposed in the future. Let people think about it for a while, and then we'll have a special just dealing with the complex.
Or maybe another meeting, maybe an informational meeting.
I think
Like
several, I think
the
at
senior
least
center?
three.
Yeah.
Don't we
So
have
the
One of them
before?
should be at the meeting, the
So-
town meeting.
So
Yeah, I
the-
agree, because you got a captive audience, so we don't need
Yeah.
to spend a lot of time, but just like, bring the
Quick
signs again.
PowerPoint.
Bring the signs, put them in the back, have a,
Well, I would have Jeff there from Tecton, and he
Okay.
could give a
Yeah, he will need
presentation.
2%.
Yeah.
It can't be us.
Yeah, yeah. So the first one you want at the annual?
yeah, why not?
And are you thinking close to when we do our STM, you want this special to be then? Or do you want it in like September or October?
I think this would be a separate one, but after we've done the meetings and given the public opportunity to
Yeah.
I guess-
ask their questions, learn about it.
I was just thinking logistically, you've
Yeah.
got that the 1st of June, and then you've got summertime, so you're gonna have a hard time getting a lot
Yeah,
of people
nobody's-
at summertime. So then your next meeting probably would be in September, when everybody's now back to school and done with vacations. So then, if you do 3, just kind of trying to think about what would be best to get everybody to notify.
Well, we could have one, because we got 3, right?
Yeah.
We could actually do one at the senior center, before the special, well, before the annual.
Before the annual, okay.
We do one then,
Mm-hmm.
do the big one at the annual, so we get more people. And then I would do another one probably, again, over the summer.
Or September.
September.
Well, because then you wanna schedule a special.
You know, you can schedule your special for the first part of October.
Yeah.
Because
you would want it
our
close.
our normal special isn't until November.
Yeah.
So you could schedule one, say in October then, like you said, and then do one in September then. Cause then, it'll give people time in between. Because you're kinda spreading it out a little bit, trying to catch different audiences at different times. And we could probably do one on a weekend.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
You're gonna have to definitely do one on a weekend to get people that are working.
And I
Cause
think
that's
you
one of the
need to
big
do it.
concerns, people work.
Yeah, partway through the day.
Yeah.
And then that would be the thing, is each of these informational meetings, find out when people would attend a special. Do they want a special during the week in the evening, or do they want a special on a Saturday? And then, instead of just picking something, then we'll have a better idea of when people might show up.
Just
Well, it
have a
doesn't always
box.
work either, because when we do that, then everybody complains that
No.
that particular day was inconvenient.
I know, but you can't, but at least you'd have a better shot of getting people if they put their 2 cents in, right?
Right.
So how soon do you wanna do the one for the senior?
March,
April?
April or May. Well,
As soon as
I would say
we're-
April, because then you May,
It's like-
June.
yeah.
you got your
Then you
meetings.
can do one in June,
yeah,
and then one in September?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you
April,
got a couple
June, and
months in
September. Okay. Those are for the informational, Jeff will come out, make the presentation, April, June, and September, okay?
You good with those, chief? Got a plan?
And then in October, STF.
Money machine?
Yeah. Oh, that's ATM.
Oh, that's. I go crazy with the letters. Okay, you got that? What's wrong? Nothing wrong with the chairs, right?
Chair
No,
for-
these chairs.
Those
Oh,
chairs.
chairs.
In fact, if you turn the page, you see that I did a couple of pictures.
So the problem is people keep on making comments about all the hair on the chairs. And
Really?
we've vacuumed them several times. I've gone out
Lip
over them with the
brushed them?
scotch thing, the
Lip
hair,
brush.
hair wands there, try to get the hair off of them. And they just suck in the hair. And some of the people after meetings have made comments about the chairs are kinda gross.
880
They don't like
pounds?
sitting on other people's pants.
Huh?
880 pounds capacity?
Yep. Well, David made the comment that we might need to make sure that we get them a little
You have to
sturdier.
make sure that you can support anybody.
No, I'm fine with
That
that.
comes
It's
in
just,
here.
it's incredible, 880,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Talking about half a ton truck.
So, I don't know, it seems like a big expense. These chairs
It's-
are fine, right?
Can we get covers? That's not an option.
And honestly, one of the things I was thinking about, and I don't know how you guys feel about nostalgic, is bringing in all the old chairs.
They are too uncomfortable.
That's good, and people won't,
Then we can try to make the meeting
You don't
shorter.
have to.
So
sit down.
anyways, it would be like nostalgic, and they're actually beautiful chairs.
Like the ones in the FinCom room, right? Those,
Yeah.
like, they come in fours or.
Yes, those.
And we already have them.
Chief, I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
And then we can give you your chair. We'll send it home with you.
keep this chair here?
I don't know, it was just something people keep on bringing up, and it's like, okay.
Well, there
Yeah.
is some stuff that you can spray that actually makes fabric almost plastic.
Well, try it on one chair and then, because it's gonna ruin the chair, right? I mean, it's what, like, once you do it,
It's-
does
You
it
can't undo it.
peel off?
You
after?
can undo it.
Yeah, so you could try it on one chair, you know?
Well, I was just thinking that would get rid of the hair issue. And we could do it just on the back and not on the seat, so you're not sticking to it in the summer.
Honestly, I like the wood chairs. The old town chairs.
Let's bring a couple of
Okay.
chairs, put them here and see what
Then,
happens.
Jen, David needs to come to our next meeting that we have up in the FinCom and
Oh,
sit in
department
those
head
chairs.
meeting.
Yes, absolutely, and sit in those chairs for 45 minutes.
I've sat in those chairs.
Yeah, I don't think they're that bad.
No. Ray, have you, has anybody ever
I'll
commented
make a
about
motion that whatever chairs go here, that the board also sits in.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
And we'll see how it goes. And we know the answer.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, keep it there. We'll keep
Okay.
talking about it.
Well, we'll just keep on having,
Bring a couple of those
Have him
chairs
try to
here.
clean 'em.
Put a row of those chairs here and see what happens.
Nobody will sit in them.
take one chair at a time and replace it.
Okay,
Did you send the letter to the gas station about the snow?
No. Because it was our highway department who put the snow there.
Oh, it was our highway?
Yeah.
But they removed it.
They did, yeah, they did knock it down. There's still a
Okay.
little pile there, or there was.
No, but at least they cleared the sidewalk and now you can go there and look at the traffic coming down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I talked to Karen and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what? Because I wanted to make sure if we're gonna send a letter, that it was a nice letter, not a big scolding letter.
Yeah.
But then as we talked, she talked to Jeremy, and it was the highway department that put the snow there. And they're so busy that they hadn't had time to knock it down. So they did get there and get rid of it.
Oh,
So
good.
problem solved.
until next fall, next winter.
Yeah.
That's what Jeremy said. Problem solved till next winter.
Or the next big snowstorm, right, on
Yeah.
Thursday or something.
No.
Any else
Light
to add to this list?
time.
that we
Anything
could
else you
think
want
of?
to add to the list? To our talk about list? Anything that I missed?
I don't think so.
Well, we'll leave it open for next.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if in
You
between
just
the
email
week,
me.
we come
Yeah.
with something, we'll call you and say, hey, put this.
Put it on, okay.
Okay, where were we? That was all business. Correspondence. Just a letter over there for Kimberly A. Savino about developing land. You gave it to planning board,
I did.
okay?
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
this,
sir.
this letter, it also kind of corresponds to the chapter land issue, okay? In having a defined process. So, Ms. Savino claims that she has a power of attorney that allows her to sell or develop develop, yeah, lots on Devil's Lane in Warren. And she's looking to get that taken out of chapter land. It's been in chapter land for some time. As you may recall, we received a notice a few months ago from an attorney, Gary Weiner, who has indicated that he represents a client that is foreclosing on this property, and that there will be a auction coming in March on this property. So I believe Ms. Savino is formally requesting that that a decision be formally made by the board at some point as to whether or not town wants to retain or have the first right of a refusal of this parcel. Now, if the parcel is taken and foreclosed upon, I think the first right of a refusal is kind of a moot point. But, or as of right now, she is looking to get some type of notification done. It would also take the assessors, I did have a conversation with Deb Hardy, some time to calculate and do the calculation on the rollback. That would have to be paid at the time as well. As well as, you know, there's a requirement that the town can take up to 120 days upon, you know, a formal request to get this, you know, on an agenda and make a formal determination on it. The town has every right to take that full 120 days. So, I mean, we received this letter on February 20th. You know, it can be placed on an agenda. I would highly recommend that it be circulated to these other departments to see if there's any comments on the land. And then a decision can be made. But, and as, the reason why I bring the letter from Attorney Weiner up is because, as it was stated in there, there is a foreclosure auction that's gonna be happening on March 20th. So all of this could be a moot point if the auction goes forward.
So,
Go ahead,
well, if you wanna go there.
I'll let you go first.
My question is, if she has power of attorney, but yet the property is being foreclosed on, who, so it's the mortgage company that's foreclosing on the land that gets it, and how is she involved then? Because is she trying to sell it to pay back the mortgage or pay off that?
I'm not sure.
But
if
if it's
she's-
already in that process,
I'm not sure if she's the actual developer or if she knows somebody that would potentially develop it. I'm not sure, but it's my understanding that the foreclosure is of a significant amount, and, you know,
but that doesn't make sense, because how can you say I have the power of attorney over the property when it hasn't even been foreclosed on yet?
well, I believe it's her father, I believe, I don't know if it's, that relationship is that, but I believe it's her father that owns the property, legally owns the property, under this Frank Servino of Western View Hills Property LLC. And it states in this, in her durable power of attorney, it states that he is giving the right to manage, control, supervise all of his property and interests, real, personable, tangible, or intangible, including the power to buy, sell, disclaim interest, and lease, mortgage said property. And it's signed by him and notarized.
But if it wasn't being foreclosed upon, this would be fine. Because he owns it, she's got power of attorney, she can buy and sell under this power of attorney. The problem is, though, if it's being foreclosed upon, it doesn't matter if, I mean, Frank Savino could send this letter. If it's being foreclosed upon, then I think it's kind of,
Right.
we have to wait and see.
Yeah, I just don't understand what the deal is. Is she trying to split it into lots before it gets foreclosed on? Then it really doesn't matter anyways, because it's foreclosed, it's not even their property.
She's looking, it sounded to me like she's looking to develop, you know, this Devil's Lane. Whether she's the developer or she is going to sell it to a developer, I'm not sure, it's not clear.
So these lots are already set up. You can look on the maps. This, you know, with the pictures here, these are the lots, the actual lots. So they're already existing. All she's gonna do is like basically kind of cut them all in half, if you will. Sell the left side and keep the right side. But again, if it's foreclosed on, then the bank owns it outright. And all this is moot, so,
And that's kind of, I'm not saying this to, to just, go, to favor the foreclosure process, but, this is a lot of work here, and then, come 3 weeks from now, she may not even own it.
yeah. Yeah, we have to wait to see what happens.
You got 120 days.
Right. So, I mean, we've been notified, and I think we can do our due diligence, within all the departments, but, if we're notified, which I'm sure we will be by the attorney, that they've had a successful foreclosure, then it's kind of a moot point.
Have you talked to the mortgage attorney?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I talked to him yesterday,
And when do they anticipate?
March 20th.
March 20th. All right, so it's barely a month.
Less,
away.
less than a month, yeah.
Yeah, let's table this for.
We can't do
30
anything
days.
for now.
Yeah, it was just brought up. It's in-
Yeah, no.
Under
no, I get
correspondence,
it.
so we can send it to all the departments, if you could send it to all the departments and let them make comments, and we'll take our 120-day period that we're entitled to.
Are these, any of these properties in tax title?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because that'd be something we wanna find out too, if any of them own back
Got
taxes.
it.
Well, that would be, yeah, if it'll get to the tax collector, right?
Yep.
And she'll be able
Yep.
to say,
Yep.
or the assessor, I don't know how
Okay.
that, all right.
Any more correspondence?
Just
Just the,
13?
yeah, just the Nardia, the one that, Mr. Ferrara already said, FinCom's new person.
Okay. So it's taken care.
Yeah.
Do we have any comments or concerns?
I do.
Go ahead.
Today is a special day. Today is Mr. Dan Thibodeau's birthday. Happy birthday, sir.
He was talking to my wife.
I thought it was yesterday.
Got you before you get out of here.
Any other comments or concerns?
I do not have anything.
Not me. Public, have any comments or concerns? Joe?
Joe Condrat, resident. Well, over the last 2 weeks, I've talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot of vitriol hate. And I explain to people, if you have a problem with the board or commission, go to their meeting, either get on the agenda or wait till the end of the meeting for comments and concerns and express yourself. Sitting out there making comments in the public is not what you do. And I've seen YouTube with a lot of meetings that actually happen in this room, and they'll swing and all the chairs are empty. That's not the way for the public to conduct business. You have something to say, you say it. The board may agree with you, they may not. But the board is not going to know about a problem if you don't bring it before them. It's time that a lot of people in this town grow up. You're not in kindergarten anymore. And as I've told more than one person, if you're younger than me, you don't have the right to hate. When you get to be my age, there are things you can hate. But I've learned in life, it's like water on a duck's back, just let it go. It's not worth pursuing a dead horse, if you'll excuse the expression. Thank you.
Yes, Joe, that's why we have an open door policy. We record this, we transmit it. It's open to anybody, more than welcome to come and whatever they want to say and express. If we could help, we will help. Any other comments or concerns? Next meeting will be March 6th. at 6 PM?
I may not be able to make that meeting. I have to find out.
Okay, no problem.
Just bring a permission slip.
Yeah, doctor's notice? Yeah. And this says public meeting for the sale?
Yep, of Whiskey Hill.
Do we care?
Whiskey Hill Liquors. It's-
So we have to
it's a
approve the
transfer.
sale?
We have to
It's a
approve the
transfer of license.
Transfer, yeah, not the sale, but the transfer
Well,
of the
it's a
liquor license,
Transfer
right?
because of a sale.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Okay. Saying no more?
But then don't we have something on, we have an executive session too, right?
Yes,
We do.
Okay,
at 4:30.
That's the
right, 4:30.
You'll be here for
Thursday,
that, right?
4:30?
Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Right,
So we're good?
Yep.
I'm good. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.